crazy how much stuff has grown just in the past nearly 2 weeks. I guess it's been actually a week and a half since the last vlog update. But I am so surprised as to how fast things are growing at the moment, to the point where there's going to be some changes. There is definitely going to be some changes. So I'll try and share what some of those changes are, hopefully going to be, and potentially sort of a big one, at least visually a big one, for probably later today actually. Once I finish up here today, hopefully there will be one major change that's been made. But yeah, lots to update on, so I'll try and be quick, but it's actually just really exciting stuff. I didn't actually think a lot of the stuff would be happening quite so soon. So it's all very positive, happy, lovely news. Unfortunately, not really anything new to report on the house building. So it's all mainly just things that are growing on the land and plans in regards to all that. So I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you some of the really cool things that have happened just in the past week and a half alone. So here is probably the biggest, most exciting news, is that the bananas have started having babies. Pretty much all of the original banana plants have got at least 1 or 2 babies now. And yeah, I'm taking that as a really good sign that they're really getting their roots in and they're liking their homes. And it's also good news because should hopefully, with these babies growing up around the original bananas, is that, yeah, it should provide some stability if we get a cyclone or lots of rain. Yeah, just the extra little pups around should help make that a bit easier. So I'll continue on down with the tour here. And other big banana news, I have 2 new banana plants, and they're of a different variety. They're the red bananas, and this is them here. So this one's actually one of the bigger ones here. I don't know if it's started growing yet. It might take a few more weeks to get the root system in. And then there's this little one here. Definitely hasn't started growing a proper leaf yet. But yeah, again, I'm hoping very soon there'll be some new bananas. So it kind of completes this area down the side to the garden, filled with bananas now. And I'll just open up the garden area so that you can see some of the other big news. Is that I have eggplants, like proper really big eggplants. And it looks like another 100% success as far as when it flowers, the flower just turns into an eggplant. So really happy about that. I could be eating eggplant in, yeah, just a matter of maybe a couple weeks. This one here is the sweet potatoes that I've taken, and I really need to get them planted really super soon, because you can see here it's already sprouted the roots, and I just need to actually get it into some soil soon. The idea with these sweet potatoes is I just plant one of the slips, and then the slip turns into maybe, hopefully, at least 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 different sweet potatoes in the ground. And so to make room for all of this, and so these are just the little slips that I took from the one sweet potato that I have planted in the main garden area. I'll show you what that looks like. But the other work that I've been doing is I've dug the trenches here, and I've put the big mounds of dirt here with the mill mud on top, and I've done the same for this row here. And so here's where the sweet potatoes are going to grow, along here. And then this one is for the kangkong, or the water spinach. So the kangkong is more of an aquatic plant, so that's why I put it in this part of the garden, so that come the rainy season or any real heavy rains, these ones, the kangkong, should do just very happily where they are. And then the next ones that seem to be able to tolerate water really well is the sweet potatoes, which is why I put them here. And then I've left everything else exactly where they are. And I'll eventually move the kangkong over into their row, but for now I'm just using it as an opportunity to start cutting off more little areas, and then once the sweet potatoes are out of the buckets, I'll put more kangkong in there to grow some more. So I'm hoping to kind of double what I've got every few weeks, and it seems quite happy here because it's got all these flowers. I'm assuming flowers are a good thing for kangkong. And then there's still plenty of sweet potato here to make a lot more slips from. So yeah, so the intent at the moment, or the plan, the hope, is that this whole row is filled up before, well, in the next maybe 6 to 8 weeks with sweet potato, and then this whole row here should be filled up also within probably 6 to 8 weeks with the water spinach, which should be in plenty of time for the wet season. Over here, oh my goodness, I'm just looking at this for the first time today, but so I was eating about 20 to 30 tomatoes every single day, and it got to the point 2 days ago now, where I just looked down and it was just a sea of red tomatoes, and I was like, there's literally no way that I can eat all of these. So I picked them, and there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes that I picked, and I'm looking at it again and it looks exactly the same. So I'm guessing in the past 2 days at least 100 more tomatoes have come ripe. So I've got a lot of eating of tomatoes and a lot of giving away of tomatoes, it seems. Probably the biggest change you might notice is that yesterday, so that's the shallots that were all there before, but I took out all of the pumpkins. There weren't a whole lot of pumpkins in production. It was just a lot of big green leaves and flowers. And I thought I could probably make better use of the space in here, at least for now, until I build the next big section of the garden, which is, I don't know, I'm hoping it's only a week or two away, but we'll see how long it takes. And then, yeah, with all the cucumber melons, I picked most of them off already and got hundreds of those, but oh wow, definitely gonna need to come back, and it's just red tomatoes everywhere. Just 48 hours, boom, hundreds of new tomatoes. But yeah, the cucumber melons are still growing, and so these are just in the past, I don't know, maybe week since I picked them. So for now, all is well. These are the other variety of tomatoes that were given to me. I haven't staked this one yet, but yeah, these are the really big tomatoes, and so I've just put in these stakes here to kind of help them along their way. I don't know if I'd put in these bigger tomatoes ever again, because they do seem to require staking, whereas the cherry tomatoes just make crazy amounts of tomatoes and they don't need staking. So I'm a little bit happier with that garden workload. And I'll take you down to check out the chocos, because I think they've been doing pretty well too. We might make a little stop at one of the new additions here that was given to me. This is an umbrella tree, this one right here, and I just planted it probably a couple days ago, so I'm sure it's happily growing roots, or at least I am hoping that it is. And these are meant to grow up really quickly, and they grow quite tall, and the parrots absolutely love the little red berries that grow out of these. So it's a fantastic way for me to, I don't know, feed the local parrots as they come out of the nearby surrounding area. And yeah, I hope they'll be very happy with the berries that this umbrella tree grows in the very near future. I'm told in about 6 months, if I make sure that I water it and give it enough compost and stuff, that it should be, I don't know, like 2 or 3 meters high just in the next few months, and super bushy. But while I'm waiting for the house to get finalized, here it is at the moment, and then I'll probably find a different place for it afterwards. In another detour, the mango tree has started growing again with new leaves here. It's amazing what sort of semi-regular watering does for plants. This was the pumpkins that I took out of the garden a few days ago, and there's a whole lot more of these little patches of decomposing material, because what I did was I went through and I pulled out a lot of the stuff on this side, all the stuff that had been growing up here. I cut down heaps of stuff from this tree that was cut down. It was regrowing lots of shoots everywhere. And then I took down pretty much all of the vines. You can still see them up there, but all the vines here along Mulch Mountain I took down, and that's what this, it was a massive pile before, and now it just looks like a whole lot of dried nothingness. But yeah, that took like an hour just to pull off from all the way down here. Imagine it'll grow back pretty quickly, but we'll see. And then down here, let's see how the chocos are doing today. Oh yeah. So this is the littlest one here. It seems to be sprouting out 2 little areas, but they're quite, like, they're really dark green, and they're quite hard leaves. So I think they're doing really well. This is the other one here that's probably that is the better of the 2. And it also seems to be growing another little one right down here. But yeah, it's growing, I don't know, at least probably 2 centimeters every day now. So I'm hoping to train it to, just go all the way up the big rain tree, up, and then drop down the chocos when they become ripe. So I think that's the majority of the big news. It was really the bananas, the eggplant, the new umbrella tree, the chocos, and it's a little bit windy today. At least a nice breeze. And then so the Millmud Mountain is getting a little bit less now, because obviously I used at least a little bit for the tops of the gardens, and everything that I've planted in there so far seems to be growing really well, so I'm quite happy with that. I guess maybe in other smaller news is these cucumbers. I already ate the biggest one, but they grow big leaves. They're kind of like the pumpkins, where there's a whole lot of growth, and then there's these yellow cucumbers. I pulled the other one off when it was green, but I feel like that yellow means that it doesn't have something that it needs, because that one's a very green cucumber. But either way, I'm not too impressed. Not too impressed with cucumbers anymore. I feel like I've eaten so many cucumbers lately that I can probably pull these out at some point in the future, very soon, and not miss them too much. I've turned so all the cucamelons that I picked off, the hundreds of them, I actually made them into pickles. So I used some of the dill from over here. So I hope they taste all right. I haven't actually tried any, but I'm just looking through here again, and I can see, I picked off everything, every little cucamelon, and already they're just coming through all over the place. So it seems like the cucamelon plants are still really happy to make more cucamelons for now. And yeah, we'll leave it at that for this week.